Ladies and gentlemen, let's speak frankly. The question of aging is not just a matter of time, it's a battle of spirit, of discipline, and of the choices you make every single day. And in that battle, many women falter not because they must, but because they surrender to the idea that age is an enemy they cannot defeat. But let me tell you something crucial: aging is not what makes you invisible. Neglect is. Apathy is. The decision to stop striving towards something greater is what makes a person fade from view. And that's entirely within your control. Posture is a language of its own. It speaks before you do. It tells the world whether you are confident or uncertain, whether you are engaged with life or shrinking from it. And in old age, this silent language becomes even more powerful. You've seen it to women both in their 60s, 70s, or even 80s. One walks into a room with her shoulders back, her head held high, her movements deliberate. She seems to take up space effortlessly. The other moves hesitantly, her shoulders rounded, her gaze lowered, as if she's trying to disappear. The difference between these two women isn't just about genetics or luck. It's about a lifetime of habits and a mindset that refuses to surrender to decline. A strong, upright posture is a signal of strength, and strength, both physical and psychological, is inherently attractive. When a woman walks with intention, when she holds herself with dignity, she sends a message: I am still here. I am still relevant. I still matter, and that message is impossible to ignore. Posture also influences how you feel about yourself. The way you carry your body affects your emotions, your self-perception, and even your energy levels. A slouched position compresses the chest, restricts breathing, and creates an air of lethargy. It signals to your brain that you are tired, defeated, or disengaged. On the other hand, standing tall expands the lungs, improves circulation, and tells your nervous system that you are alert, confident, and ready to take on the world. There is a reason why military training and elite performance coaching emphasize posture. It cultivates a mindset of readiness and resilience. A woman who maintains good posture commands attention in a way that is almost subconscious. Men notice it because it exudes vitality. It suggests that she has taken care of herself, that she respects her own body, and that she is still an active participant in the world around her. And this isn't just about standing up straight, it's about movement as well. The way you enter a room, the way you sit, the way you engage with people, these small, often overlooked details create an aura of presence. Posture isn't just about looking better, it's about reclaiming a sense of power. It is a decision made over and over again to refuse to fade into the background. It is the simplest yet most effective way to defy the expectation that age diminishes a woman's presence. Looking good in old age isn't a matter of luck, it's a matter of discipline. It's about the small, consistent choices made daily over decades. Many people assume that aging gracefully is either genetic or dependent on expensive treatments, but the truth is much simpler. The way a woman treats herself, the effort she puts into maintaining her body and mind, is what ultimately sets her apart. You can see the difference between those who have practiced discipline and those who have not. A woman who has taken care of herself moves differently. Her skin, her energy, her very presence speaks of a life lived with intentionality. She didn't let herself go, not because she was chasing youth, but because she respected herself enough to maintain her health. On the other hand, neglect is obvious. It's obvious in posture, in sluggishness, in the way someone carries the weight of years when they didn't have to. Discipline with food is one of the most powerful determinants of how a person ages. The body is a reflection of what it has been given. A woman who has fed herself well, who has prioritized nutrition over convenience, who has been mindful of what she consumes, will look dramatically different at 60 or 70 than someone who has lived on processed foods and excess sugar. It is not about dieting or deprivation, it is about nourishment. Strength and vitality are built through conscious choices, not last-minute fixes. Movement is just as crucial. The body was designed to be used, and when it isn't, it deteriorates. A woman who has maintained an active lifestyle, whether through walking, strength training, or any form of consistent physical engagement, carries herself differently. Her muscles support her frame, her joints stay functional, and her overall energy remains intact. The difference is striking between a woman who can move freely and one who struggles with basic mobility, between one who exudes energy and one who appears weighed down by her own body. Discipline extends beyond physical habits, it shapes the mind as well. Mental sharpness, emotional resilience, and confidence are all strengthened by the same consistency that keeps the body strong. A woman who has engaged in lifelong learning, who has challenged herself intellectually, who has refused to let her world shrink, remains dynamic. She is not merely enduring old age, she is mastering it. And that mastery, that deliberate cultivation of strength and grace, is impossible to ignore. There is something unmistakable about a woman who radiates vitality. It is not just about looking younger or appearing physically attractive, it is about the undeniable energy she carries. People are drawn to those who are fully engaged with life, and this becomes even more apparent with age. A woman who remains vibrant and full of life captures attention in a way that no cosmetic procedure ever could. Energy is not something that simply fades with time, it is something that is either cultivated or allowed to wither. Many women, as they grow older, unconsciously withdraw from life. They stop challenging themselves, stop seeking out new experiences, and fall into routines that offer comfort but no real stimulation. Over time, this disengagement drains them of their spark. The result is a kind of dullness not in appearance, but in presence. When someone has lost the desire to participate in the world, it shows. The eyes lose their sharpness, the voice lacks enthusiasm, and the body moves as if weighed down by invisible burdens. On the other hand, a woman who remains engaged, curious, and excited about life exudes a magnetic quality. She is the kind of person who listens intently, who still asks questions, who embraces change rather than fears it. She does not dwell on what she has lost with age, but instead focuses on what she can still gain. This mindset alone makes her appear dynamic and full of possibility. People, including men, are naturally drawn to that kind of energy. It signals youthfulness in the true sense, not the superficial kind that fades, but the internal force that keeps someone truly alive. This vitality is closely tied to health, movement, and purpose. A woman who takes care of her body, who moves regularly, who nourishes herself properly, will naturally feel more energetic. But beyond the physical, a woman who feeds her mind and spirit remains compelling. She has passions, interests, and a sense of adventure, whether that means traveling, learning new skills, or simply approaching each day with enthusiasm. She does not settle into stagnation, and that makes her unforgettable. The real secret to looking better than other women in old age is not found in any cream or procedure. It is found in the decision to keep living fully. The moment a woman stops seeing herself as an active force in the world is the moment she begins to fade. But when she refuses to dim her own light, everyone notices. A woman who has purpose commands attention. There is something undeniably striking about a person who moves through life with direction, someone who is not simply drifting, but actively creating meaning in every stage of life. In old age, this becomes even more pronounced. Many women reach a point where they feel they no longer have anything to strive for. They retire, their children have grown, their roles have shifted, and they begin to fade into the background. But the ones who refuse to do this, the ones who continue to cultivate purpose, stand out in a way that is impossible to ignore. Purpose gives life structure. It is the difference between merely existing and truly living. A woman who wakes up each day with something to pursue, whether it is a personal goal, a creative endeavor, or a cause she cares about, carries herself differently. Her mind remains sharp, her energy stays high, and she remains interesting not just to others, but to herself. People who lack purpose often appear lost, detached, or even defeated. They are waiting for life to happen to them rather than shaping it themselves. This difference is visible in everything from body language to conversation. A woman with purpose speaks with conviction, moves with intention, and remains deeply engaged with the world around her. This is also what makes her attractive. Men, whether they realize it consciously or not, are drawn to women who have a sense of direction. A woman who knows what she wants, who still has ambitions and passions, carries an energy that is far more captivating than someone who has resigned herself to irrelevance. It is not about being busy for the sake of being busy. It is about having something that fuels you, something that gives you reason to keep growing. Growth, even in old age, is the key to remaining vibrant. A life without purpose leads to stagnation, and stagnation is what truly ages a person. The body may slow down, but the mind and spirit do not have to. Those who continue to learn, contribute, and strive for something greater than themselves remain powerful presences in any room. They do not shrink with age, they expand. They do not become invisible, they become even more distinct. And in doing so, they remind everyone, especially themselves, that age is not a reason to fade, but an opportunity to rise.